Hello and welcome guys, welcome to the channel Bullets Garage, coming at you today, December 31st. Happy New Year's Eve everybody. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. There's not much content that I could give you guys since the car is up in storage for the winter time. But I do want to talk to you guys about a possible next mod that I'm going to get for the GsF. So as you know, the car's been in storage. I've been just looking through a lot of the pictures that I've taken while I had the car, and I'm noticing the wheel gap. And it's starting to bother me compared to the other cars I see on the internet that are dropped, and they look so much better. So I figured, why not lower the car? And then there's multiple options that you could go. Number one, which I would want to do, is airbags, but they're hella expensive, complicated to wire up and all that stuff, and there's not a direct kit out yet for the GsF, so I'm not going airbags. Number two, coilovers. The reason why I don't want coilovers is I had coilovers on my two previous cars, my Honda Civic and my GTI, and they were just a pain in the ass. Corner balancing it. The GTI has been my winter car, so in the summer on my summer wheels I have to drop it. In the winter time I put my winters on, I have to raise the car. Pain in the ass, don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. Corner balancing, and just the car is never perfectly aligned. I'm not doing coils. So I figured, what's the least expensive way to get the job done without a lot of hassle is lowering springs. So today I want to talk to you guys about 3 brands of lowering springs and what they offer, and I want your information about what do you think about these springs. If you have these springs on your GsF, how do they ride? Are they bumpy? How much do they drop your car? Is there any drawbacks to having your GsF lowered? Are your shocks being blown? Yada yada yada. Let me know, comment below. I want to hear everything. So let's get right into it. I did my research. There are 3 companies that make springs for the GsF specifically. Number 1, Swift. Number 2, RSR. Number 3, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Tanabe, Tanabe. That's just how I'm going to pronounce it. That's how I think it is, Tanabe. So let me go over the specs of these 3 different springs and see, which one do you guys have, which one do you guys recommend. I want to take all your opinions into consideration. So let's start with Swift. The only downside that I found with Swift is they don't have a GsF specific spring. The only one they have is for the RCF. So that's out of the question right off the bat. I'm not going to be doing that. The most popular that I've seen on Instagram, Facebook, most of the Vossen cars are lowered on this spring. And most people that I've talked to are lowered on this. RSR, the down spring. Price-wise, they're around $310. The drop that they provide you, okay, front drops 1 inch to 1.2 inches. The rear, the rear is 0.8 to 1 inch. A second important thing is you have to think about the spring rates, how stiff the spring is going to be. So the spring rate for the RSR for the front is 485 pounds to an inch. So what that means is it takes 485 pounds to lower the spring, compress it an inch, okay? For the rear, it's 806 pounds to lower it an inch. So it's a little stiffer than stock. Let's go into the second option, Tanabe. Price-wise, $342. And from what I read, the spring rates are 5% of what stock is. So they're just a little bit stiffer than stock. Front drop, 1.3 inches. Rear drop, 0.7 inches. Spring rate for the front, 419 pounds. For the rear, 694 pounds. So it's a lot softer spring than the R&Rs. Will give you a smoother ride. The main reason, guys, why I want to drop my GsF is I'm going to post pictures of my car right here, right now, that you could see. the car, instead of sitting straight, has a reverse rake. And what that means is the car sits like this, with the ass back and the front up. I hate that look. I don't know why GSs do the same thing. Last gen GSs do the same thing. It must be a Lexus design where they have that shit sitting like this, and I hate it. That's why I want to get rid of that. And to drop the front down will make it look so much meaner, especially with my wheel spacers that I have on. It's gonna just close that gap, narrow it down, and look great. So I'm gonna post a couple pictures of people that are lowered on the RSR springs, and the only issue that I have with the RSR is that they lower the rear end maximum of 1 inch and the front a maximum of 1.2 inches. So if the GsF comes from factory like this, you are gonna lower it, but it's still gonna sit like this because the rear lowers 1 inch, which I think is way too much for the rear, and the front only goes down 1.2. So it's still gonna have some kind of reverse rake, which I don't wanna do. So I don't think I'm gonna go with the RSRs for that specific reason. Compared to the Tanabe, where the rear only goes down 0.7 and the front goes down 1.3, which is the max of the springs that I've seen. So I think that's going to level it out perfectly. So that's what I think I'm going to go with, and I want your opinion to see if that's a good choice or not. Let me put some pictures of the RSR springs on different cars so you could get an idea. It's lower, but you still see that little bit of reverse rake. So you can see for yourself, and then I'm going to post a couple pictures of the Tanabe springs on 2 different GsFs so you can see that it more or less looks like it's pretty straight. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, subscribe, like, share. Post pictures below if you can of your car, what you're lowered on. I want to see. I want to hear your opinions on what I should do. Stay tuned for more videos. You know, it sucks that it's wintertime. I can't drive the car and provide more content for you guys. But this, I think, is going to be the next mod for it. Let me hear what you guys think. Thank you.